Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah, she got them for sale. Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah, she got them for sale. She got 2 for a nickel, got 4 for a dime. Would tell you more, but it ain't none of mine. Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah, she got them for sale. I mean, yeah, she got them for sale. Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah, she got them for sale. Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah, she got them for sale. She got 2 for a nickel, got 4 for a dime. Would sell you more, but it ain't none of mine. Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah, she got them for sale. I mean, yeah, she got them for sale. I mean, she got the rhythm of it. I mean, someone that are kicking on it. I mean, they're red hot, red hot, red hot. Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah, she got them for sale. Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah, she got them for sale. You know, Grandma left and Grandpa too. Ooh! What in the world are we Scotties to do? Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah, she got them for sale. I mean, yeah, she got them for sale. Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah, she got them for sale. Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah, she got them for sale. Me and my babe bought a V8 Ford, wind that thing on the running board. Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah, she got them for sale. I mean, yeah, she got them for sale. I mean, she got the rhythm of it. I mean, something that are kicking on it. I mean, they're red hot, red hot, red hot. Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah, she got them for sale. Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah, she got them for sale. She got 2 for a nickel, got 4 for a dime. Would tell you more, but it ain't none of mine. Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah, she got them for sale. I mean, yeah, she got them for sale. Yeah, she got them for sale. I mean, yeah, she got them for sale.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention? The commencement procession will begin shortly. At this time, please check that all your electronic devices, including cell phones, are silenced. Remember, there is no videography or photography allowed during the commencement addresses, except by authorized parties. Drones are not allowed on campus, with the exception of those authorized by the Offices of Communications and Marketing and Public Safety for college purposes. During the processional, please stand as the graduates, faculty, trustees, and special guests enter the quad. For your safety and that of those around you, please stand in place at your seat. Do not block the aisles. Your cooperation is appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the processional.
Good morning. Commencement exercise in the 130th year of Agnes Scott College have now begun. In order to ensure that all can hear and also to maintain the magic and dignity of this ceremony, please silence all cell phones and other electronic devices. Thank you. I now invite the Reverend Lib McGregor Simmons to give our invocation.
Please be seated. Let us pray. Holy One, giver of all good gifts, today is a summit kind of day. A day when we celebrate these soon-to-be graduates of Agnes Scott, their talents and accomplishments, who they are, and who they will become. On this, their commencement day, we celebrate all who have accompanied them as they have made their journeys to this momentous peak of their educational experience. Today, we give thanks for parents, for step-parents, for grandparents, for aunts and uncles, for sisters and brothers, for all who have loved and supported and prayed and sacrificed so that their beloved Scotties might learn and grow to their full potential. Today, we give thanks for professors, for mentors, for those who helped them find resources in the library and prepared their lunches and ovens, for every person on this campus who has contributed to their thinking deeply, living honorably, and engaging the intellectual and social challenges of their times. And now, our Creator, as you hold off the showers for the next few hours, rain down your blessings upon this day in every other way. Breathe into these graduates, their families, their friends, and all of us, your holy wind breath spirit, that together we may be a community empowered to keep on journeying toward your cosmic vision of global love, justice, and peace for all. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Liv, for those lovely words. I would also like to thank Corbin McKinnon, Calvert Johnson, Charles A. Dana, Professor Emeritus of Music and College Organist Emeritus, and the Petrie Brass for that fantastic processional. And aren't the international flags phenomenal? These flags represent each of the countries that you, our first summit class, visited on your journeys trip. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to our graduates, to their families and guests who have journeyed from near and far to be with us today, to Agnes Scott's trustees, faculty, and staff who have given so much to nurture and support our graduates. We have some proud parents, friends, aunts, uncles, grandparents, and even great-grandparents with us this morning. I also want to extend a warm Scottie welcome to our speaker, Jourdan Casteel. Thank you, Jourdan, for being with us. On behalf of the entire Agnes Scott community, I am so excited to welcome you all here today. I also am very proud to be the first to say, congratulations, class of 2019. It truly is an honor to share your special day. And it's been an honor to have shared your senior year, your last on this beautiful campus. Anyone who sets foot here knows Agnes Scott is special. And that's because of you, our brilliant and dynamic Scotties. Being with you, talking to you, listening to you is inspiring and invigorating. Truly, I get my energy from you. Sprites, as I was getting settled here, I paid close attention to your class, and it was clear to me from the start that you are leaders, and not just because you're seniors. I've learned so much from you. We all have, really. You've taught us so many lessons about leadership in the time that we've had together. You taught us how to contribute to the greater community. You've taken internships and summer jobs that allowed you to use what you were learning on this campus to help people, locally and globally. Reminded us that it's possible to get people excited, not just about politics, but also about public service. Through organizations like Ignite, you registered people to vote, hosted elections to watch parties, and recruited young leaders like yourselves. You showed us how to start something brand new and how to grow into something that lasts, something as important and inspirational as pathmakers. And you showed us how to use these things to set us apart as a source of strength. You taught us how to use our voices, whether it's reading your own poetry during a celebration of Black History Month, or declaring your support for immigrants during a day of action. You are never afraid to speak out. And that includes here at this ceremony. For the first time at an Agnes Scott commencement, we'll hear from a member of the senior class. Sprites, you have called out the injustices you've seen across the country and around the world, and right here at Agnes Scott. In some ways, that's even harder to do. So I admire you for what you've done, and I thank you. When you uncovered painful truths, as you did during your work on the history of Agnes Scott College, you taught us how to have a conversation about them, how to learn from them, how to be better. And because of you, we are better. You helped the college start things that were brand new when you were still brand new. Maybe it feels like a lifetime ago, or maybe it feels like yesterday. But back in the fall of 2015, you left home and entered this new place with new people and new ideas. Now, that's hard enough. But the following spring, you went off to Cuba, Bolivia, Puerto Rico, and 8 other places. On these journeys, our first ever, you pushed yourselves even further. You engaged with global issues. You unpacked critical topics. You brought the lessons you learned back here, where you put them into practice as leaders on this campus. As the very first graduating summit class, I know you often felt like guinea pigs. I know that because you actually told us that. But I also know that being first, helping us start something completely different, figuring out how to navigate change, has prepared you for the future. But it has also prepared us for our future. You were instrumental in making Summit what it is today, a signature program that has gained international attention and acclaim, a program that led this college to being ranked #1 for innovation by U.S. News and World Report. As much as you've depended on us, we have depended on you. So on behalf of a very grateful community, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Given everything you have given us, we're incredibly sad to see you go. But given everything that you have already accomplished, we can't wait to see what comes next. There's a quote I love that's attributed to one of my heroes, Nelson Mandela. There is no passion to be found in playing small, settling for a life less than the one you are capable of. Sprites, you have never played small. You are capable of great things. Never settle for less. Whether you're headed off to graduate school or a brand new job, Whether you're taking a gap year to volunteer or travel or to work, whether you're staying here in Atlanta or venturing off to places where you've never seen, we know you will make your mark, just as you have done right here on campus. Here, you learned how to think deeply, how to approach and address a challenge, how to be honorable, how to be responsible, respectful members of the community, how to listen, really listen, how to make good friends, how to be good friends. I'm sure many of you will welcome a break from homework and essays and projects. You certainly deserve never to look at Moodle again. But here's the thing. I hope you never stop learning. I hope you choose to become lifelong learners. And I hope that no matter where you go, no matter what you do, you carry everything you learned here along with you. I hope you carry this place with you, because just as you are leaving a piece of yourselves here, you're taking a piece of Agnes Scott with you. Just as we were with you on your very first journey, we'll be with you in all of your journeys to come. So every time you look down and see that black ring, just remember, we appreciate you. We believe in you. You're right here with us. We're cheering you on every step of the way. We can't wait to see where you will go, how you will grow, and we can't wait to welcome you back home again. Congratulations, Sprites, and our very best wishes for every success in the future. One of those graduates whose successes we will be following is Mallika Balakrishnan. Through a competitive contest, Malika was selected to be Agnes Scott's first graduating senior to speak at commencement. A philosophy and political science major from Marietta, Georgia, Malika has been an active Scottie, leading Model UN and Etna Sigma Phi, tutoring in Latin, and in the Center for Writing and Speaking. She has served as a philosophy teaching assistant and playing in Agnes Scott's community orchestra and with local bands. She has interned at CARE USA and Amnesty International. Her future goal is dedicated to working to protect people and human rights around the world, and specifically in Latin America and the Caribbean. Malika is an avid reader and loves learning about post-colonial literature. She's interested in a range of topics from political activity to topography. She is this year's recipient of the Cronin Award for Excellence in the Study of Politics and the Merle Grubbs Philosophy Prize. After graduating, Malika will study moral, legal, and political philosophy at the University of St. Andrews and international political economy at the University of York as a Marshall Scholar. Please join me in welcoming Mallika Balakrishnan.
Good morning, Sprites. Thank you, President Zach. And good morning to each of you here today, our families, both blood and chosen, our students, staff, and our incredible, dedicated faculty. Y'all are the reason we walk today. And to the class of 2019, congratulations! Despite whatever doubts and fears we might have faced along the past 4 years, and I'm not just talking about G-Fly, we made it. I wanted to make that G-Fly reference nice and early so y'all wouldn't be waiting for it the entire time I was speaking. We made it. And we made it in part because from the solace of office hours to the chaos of pancake jam, for many of us, Agnes Scott is a place of belonging. My very first year, I remember approaching this political science major, a senior, and asking her for advice. Now, despite the fact that I was practically a stranger to this student, she didn't even hesitate to offer me her help. That is, of course, between her 20-credit load, chorale rehearsals, work-study jobs, softball practice, study group, SGA meetings, and volunteering commitments. Scotties, Y'all need to sleep. We are so used to running a million miles an hour. So today I want to take a moment to pause and reflect with you on the changes we've weathered, the changes ahead of us, and this small, strong, precious community that we've built together. Our commitment to solidarity, the idea that you're flourishing, is mine too. This is something we must take beyond Buttrick and Bullock and into the world. For it is through this solidarity that we will flourish, both individually and together. I cannot think of any other institution where the students care so deeply about the well-being of their peers. Compassion shines through you, whether you're tackling large-scale issues of inclusion or simply holding space to listen to one another. Scotties have each other's backs. Every year, the philosophy department holds this essay contest with a prize, and I remember overhearing students literally setting up a time to help each other improve the work that they were submitting to this competition. Just let that sink in. There's $600 on the line. We're all college students. And Scotties are out here really making sure that their competition submits the best work possible. Now, if that's not solidarity, I don't know what is. And solidarity means that we're always trying to make this community better. As a campus community, we are always one strongly worded email away from protest, mass organizing, and collective outrage. And from fighting for safe spaces and accessibility on campus to demanding a living wage for those who make this education possible, to making membership in the Black Ring Mafia affordable for every Scottie. Y'all's constant work to make this community better amazes me every day. It is a gift to be around folks who come to Agnes Scott, a place that often feels like an island of inclusion, love, and progress in a sea of fear. It is a gift to be among you who see this and think, okay, but how can I make this even better for those around me? What injustices are being overlooked, and how can I right them? Class of 2019, I am so proud to be learning and unlearning from you every day, because you have shown me how a community can affect positive change. As the first Summit class, we have faced change and weathered it, sometimes gracefully, and sometimes with uncertainty and emotional trips to Waffle House to stress-eat hash browns. Hope can be difficult sometimes. Consider the rising ocean, the xenophobia we've seen in just this month's hate crimes, the inaccessibility of healthcare for so many, the lack of affordable housing, and of course, the fact that millennials are ruining everything with our love for avocado toast. But this little community reminds me that there are change makers among us who will keep trying. A strong liberal arts education like the one we have received here teaches us this. Beyond the critical thinking skills, beyond the ability to think deeply, live honorably, and stop me if you've heard this one before, engage the intellectual and social challenges of our times, being part of this community means being deeply committed to justice for everyone in it and beyond it. Y'all demonstrate compassion and solidarity that goes beyond just slapping #resist on your profile. You find radical ways to fight systems whose injustices often seem self-perpetuating. You look at something good and constantly question, how can I make this better? I urge you to keep this with you. The bravery to hold out for change and to change what you love. In the coming weeks and years, I cannot wait for each of you to find your unique picture of success and show us how you use it to help those around you. With critical investment and critical love, break down what holds back justice. Go forth with the conviction to work for the liberation of those around you and those who may be oceans away. This is what it means to be a leader in a global society. And this is what our time here, for all its glories and challenges and waiting in line at Black Cat Cafe, has prepared us for. Simone de Beauvoir, in The Ethics of Ambiguity, once wrote that to will oneself free is also to will others free. Class of 2019, I cannot think of a group of people more ready to do so than you. Thank you.
Thank you, Malika, for those amazing, inspiring words. And thank you for being who you are. This morning, it is a thrill for us to welcome back and to hear from an Agnes Scott alumna, a captivating artist and an inspiring Scottie, Jourdan Casteel, class of 2011. Early this year, I had the opportunity to view Jourdan's work at the Denver Art Museum. I was so impressed by her work, and I cannot think of a more ideal person to speak at this commencement. Jourdan received her Bachelor of Arts in Studio Art in 2011. Jourdan describes her time at Agnes Scott as life-changing. Getting to know Jourdan, she is life-changing. One of this country's most acclaimed emerging artists, Jourdan was named to the Forbes list of 30 under 30. She has that Agnes Scott magic. Jourdan finds her subjects and her surroundings, introducing herself, then photographing them. Then the magic begins, and a story is told through her paintings of her subjects. Social injustices have sparked her to present her subjects in a manner in which they seem to follow you around the room, and you almost feel the emotions just pouring from the canvas. Jourdan's work is brilliant. We are so proud to call her our own. It is my greatest pleasure to welcome Jourdan Casteel back to Agnes Scott. Jourdan.
I'm already crying. I just listened to that, so I'm just going to say that. I am an emotional being, and I'm going to be myself. So, good morning. Thank you, President Zach and Malika. Wow. Really phenomenal, you guys. I'm so inspired. To the distinguished members of the faculty, thank you. I have to say, to the sprites, Agnes Scott's graduating class of 2019, congratulations. You're going to hear that a lot today. Take it in. I am beyond honored to be here today, celebrating with this amazing achievement with you and your loved ones. I'm going to do the only thing we Scotties know how to do. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to wear my sneakers underneath my robe. For me, that means being unapologetically myself and keeping it 100. I will be vulnerable. I will epitomize awkward. Yes, I am awkward. I laugh loud and at myself often. I don't know if I'll do it in the course of this speech, but you will hear me at some point today. This is me. This is the me that I learned to embrace to the fullest right here on this campus. I plan to share the most authentic version of myself with you today in the hopes that you see a little bit of yourself behind this podium. With that said, I believe we are all artists. Yes, every single person in this outside space praying for no rain is an artist. I know, right? An artist saying we're all artists. Cliche. Hang with me, okay? But I'm going to back up this belief by telling you how I painted my own life and how you can do the same. So I'm going to ask you to paint this picture with me. It was 2007. I was gangly, I was timid, and I was a high school graduate who spent her time drawing tattoos for extra cash because the hustle is real, playing field hockey, drawing on airplanes to cope with my fear of flying, eating sandwiches cut into hearts and stars on the floor outside my favorite teacher's classroom. I was driving a green Subaru Outback and constantly smelled like a soccer field. Thanks to my captain responsibilities of bringing the gear to practice. It was a constant struggle. It stunk. At this point in my life, I felt I had done everything right. In an effort to manage the world around me, I was, and quite frankly still am, a people pleaser. I wanted to follow the rules of life as I understood them and draw. I made the first bold brushstroke in my life when I applied early decision to Agnes Scott College. I accepted without telling my parents, okay? I accepted a binding agreement without telling my parents. Because I knew more clearly than I knew anything up until that point that being here on this campus was exactly where I needed to be. As prepared as I had been to make the big move away from Denver, Colorado to Decatur, Georgia, where everything was new, I was silently, and sometimes not so silently, freaking out. What was I thinking? This was the first of many major decisions I would make over the next 12 years. It was both an exercise in faith and my own stubborn determination to figure it out on my own terms. The day that I moved into my dorm, my mother, my father, who are both here today, and my friend Sin-Q were with me. We spent hours at Target, hours. I was checking list upon list, trying to ease my apprehension by controlling what I could. Our goodbyes imminent. On move-in day, my mother, a fierce woman in her own right, as president and CEO of the Women's Foundation in Colorado, gave me what would be the most important advice to follow me in my life. After covering my extra long twin bed, I had never heard of it before going to college, in pink fluffy pillows and a few stuffed animals, she told me, "Sweetheart, you respect everyone on this campus. We heard from the president of the college today. We met deans, faculty, and the like, but oftentimes it is the people behind the scenes that are the heart and soul of a place. You make sure you introduce yourself to the facilities, kitchen, and cleaning staff. They will be your family." With that said, my mother marched me into the cafeteria, and to my horror, truly to my horror, she walked right up to the woman making the baked goods and said, "Hi," my mom said. "This is my daughter, Jourdan. She loves to bake, and I just want to make sure everyone in this community, those folks who will be her family while I'm away, she meets them." It was Miss Betty we met, who is also here today. She greeted us with, just saying her name, done. Okay. She greeted us with a grin and reassured my mom that I was in good hands. In good hands, I was. Betty very quickly became my ASC mama and one of the most important figures in the painting of my life. My favorite part of the day was getting to the cafeteria to see Betty. She invited me to her home, brought me Sunday dinners on campus. We laughed and cried together. She was, as my mom predicted, someone who loved me unconditionally in a way only family can. My paintings have been and continue to be rooted in representing relationships I have built along the way. As a deeply empathetic, if you can't tell, person and observer, I am prone to connect most to those on the periphery. I have never been one to feel institutional attachment. I have found myself attached to and loyal to the people who see me and in turn share themselves. This campus is full of those people. Betty was just the start. Agnes gave me my still and forever best friend and first-year roommate, Alex, another tear, who is also up there with her 2 babies. Happy Mother's Day. Yeah, girl. She also turns 30 this weekend, so happy birthday. Who teaches me to live life fearlessly and with an immense amount of passion. Agnes gave me Krista, who used to find solace painting with me and Dana. Later, Krista welcomed me with a smile and Lysol wipes as I arrived to my Harlem apartment. She was one of my biggest supporters and is, as I navigated the early parts of my career in New York. Agnes gave me Anne and Nell, who provided me with the space to call my own, and Dana, the support to step into my love of art unafraid. Agnes gave me the Wellness Center. I needed them. With Beth, Carol, and Barbara enveloping me with resources and confidence I would need to succeed in spite of my new lupus diagnosis. Agnes gave me Aunt Loretta and Uncle Columbus. I know you're back here. And Uncle Columbus, who helped me find peace in my own body, encouraged my love of tea, and welcomed me into their home as I grieved the loss of my grandmother. There were so many people that created safety for me here. It was through that safety I felt in this community that the young, insecure, and quiet person who walked onto this campus for the first time, full of uncertainty, transformed into a confident, voice-wielding, and brush-brandishing graduate who sat where you sit today. I attribute much of my success today to the determination and self-confidence I developed here. I grew into myself. connecting to what I now clearly identify as my destiny to be a painter and educator. I often find in my painting practice, central themes emerge slowly, but are always just beneath the surface. My understanding of my calling was no different. It was revealed long before I understood its meaning. When I was 10 months old, my mother's personal journal read this. Listen closely. The moment you were born, your hands, which still are a focal point, were a focal point of your nature. Large with long fingers that can grasp delicately the smallest item. You use them with great grace and dexterity. And how you love colors, shapes, and movement. I remember the amazement as you responded to cartoons on TV, intent on the colors. I was 10 months old when she wrote that. My innocent examination of Care Bear rainbows soon turned from looking to longing to use my hands for making. Now I'm known for the paintings I make. But in reality, I have always been one to use my hands for handmade gifts for friends, for baking, still baking, Betty, knitting, cleaning, and writing letters. I continue to find true joy in my ability to share my creations with others, whatever form they take. As the first ever summit cohort to graduate, you're the graduates, I know you recognize the power of stepping out of your immediate space and respectfully into the spaces of others. Although Summit did not exist when I was here, I was encouraged by the Agnes Scott faculty to study abroad for a semester in Cortona, Italy, through the University of Georgia Lamar Dodd School of Art. Deciding to go was the best thing I could have ever done. It was in Italy that I discovered bold new colors for my palette. My stubborn and determined sensibility worked in my favor. Although my lupus journey was just beginning, I gathered enough medication to last the entirety of the visit and found a rheumatologist in Florence. I had done as I had done when I arrived here on move-in day. I didn't take no for an answer, asked for help, and made excessive lists with boxes drawn so I could check them off. I communicated my needs to those in charge and packed, unpacked, and repacked. It was during my study abroad experience, second semester of my third year, that I fell in love with the idea of having a studio practice. It is crazy to think I was 21 when I used oil paint for the first time. That was only 9 years ago, guys. The light and space in Cortona enthralled me with possibility. I painted portraits of my classmates and the groundskeeping staff, ate blood oranges, and gorged an excessive, sometimes 3, maybe 2 gelatos a day. I was happy. As a result of that palpable joy, I came back to Agnes and immediately changed my major from sociology and anthropology to studio art. I was lucky to come home to the Agnes Scott art department. They encouraged my newfound love of oil paint by giving me the freedom I needed to continue learning. I followed my impulse to paint portraits of people who I wanted to honor, starting with our very own Betty. Changing my major to studio art meant I was subtly turning and drawing my life upside down. My parents were slightly horrified. I was considering a new composition altogether and had no idea how I would get a practical job in the future. Thanks to societal messaging and lack of access, I was quite sure all contemporary artists were struggling to make ends meet. However, I knew with a strong base, Agnes made me resolute in my ability to think deeply, live honorably, we could almost call this back and forth, and engage in the intellectual and social challenges of my time. Shoot, at the very least, I knew I was going to write and communicate my ideas effectively. I would figure it out. I just did not have a vision for how it would all come together. Now, what feels like just yesterday, but was only 8 years ago, I walked across this very stage, looking towards a future to Teach for America, teaching special education to 6th and 9th graders in my hometown. I was going back to Denver, and I was as sad as I was to be leaving the community I built here at Agnes. I was looking forward to the next adventure. This opportunity was going to fill my logical desire of certainty by doing meaningful work and earning a paycheck. I've always loved teaching. I wanted TFA to be the rainbow I had been seeking. In reality, my new job checked a lot of smart decision life boxes, but I quickly realized checking boxes doesn't always equate to happiness. To soften the blow, I stocked up on cheap oil paint and canvases at the craft supply store Michael's. At night, in my first grown-up apartment, after writing lesson plans, I painted photos of my students to calm and connect to myself. It wasn't enough. I became depressed, and the stress amplified my lupus symptoms, forcing me to confront my fear of perceived failure. I had never quit anything in my life. I saw the light I had gained here at Agnes dim. I have always been ambitious, but at what cost? My time at TFA forced me to ask myself some tough questions, and ultimately, with the help of my community and therapist, God bless therapy, I decided to leave the organization in order to make my health and well-being my priority. I remember the day I walked into my principal's office to tell him I needed to make a change. I was so scared. It was as if I had handed my paintbrush to someone else and said, "Here, you paint this for me." I lost control, and I knew I had to reclaim the same agency I had when I pressed send on a binding agreement with Agnes Scott College. I was making this necessary mark on the canvas of my life. I was still second-guessing myself, though. What am I thinking? I was literally shaking, terrified of the repercussions of this decision. Much to my surprise, I was met with understanding. The principal listened, saw me, and committed to supporting my transition by offering a role that would keep me around the students I adored and did not erase me. Through that offering of grace came a sense of relief. I literally felt the clouds lift and the skies clear. It's not happening here yet, but I was able to refocus, considering a future where I could still teach and paint. I was holding the brushes again, not anyone else. Getting an MFA seemed like the next practical step in my journey. I could paint, get a degree that would allow me to teach on the collegiate level, and as a lifelong horrible test taker, I could avoid taking the GRE. Brilliant. And apply with the works I had been making that year in my second bedroom. While thinking about where I might apply, I fell back on a school that seemed the most practical again, the University of Colorado. It had been a trying year, and I wasn't sure how much risk-taking I had left in me. However, with the encouragement of my mother and the support of Google, we asked, what is the best MFA program? After much debate, because I didn't want to pay the application fees, quite honestly, but was promised repayment if I didn't get in, so I was like, bet, I'm in. I decided to throw my hat in the ring as an applicant to the Yale School of Art, School of the Art Institute of Chicago, University of Georgia, Columbia, and the University of Colorado. The day I hoped to hear from Yale, my first choice, I purchased a cupcake from my favorite Denver bakery to either cry over or celebrate with. The entire day, with no word, this cupcake was still in my hands. By 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I was confused about the date. So I ate the cupcake and went to visit a friend. Within minutes of my arrival, of course, my phone alerted me to a new email from the Yale School of Art. I got in. I know. What? I fell to my knees and said, sorry, a few expletives, but that's honest, and began to wail. I knew instantly this opportunity was a game changer. As the reality of my move to New Haven set in, the good friend fear reared its head. What was I thinking? Feeling returned with vengeance. I felt a deep concern that I was stepping into a world which I was very unprepared. Yes, I spent a semester studying abroad in Italy, plus a year painting in Dana. Yeah, I continued to paint in my second bedroom during the year I was teaching. But I had three paintbrushes, had never stretched a canvas before, and knew nothing about the contemporary art world. Yale. I was also much younger than the other students in my program, who had all come from prestigious art schools. During registration, I was told I was the first to come into the program from Agnes Scott College. I mean, no pressure, right? That's kind of how I felt. I was like, oh, okay. I spent the first year at Yale battling my own imposter syndrome. I was a young Black woman from Denver, Colorado, who went to the best women's college, which was still a BA versus a BFA, and had the elite art world vocabulary of a 2-year-old. The voice I worked so hard to gain while at Agnes silenced itself. I did not speak in group critiques. I would only ask questions of a couple of my peers in private. I felt acutely aware that I had gaps to fill and was desperate to fill them. By the time my second year rolled around, I emerged from my shell again, feeling powerful as I recognized that I was there for a reason, and my ability to distill art speak into my own language is meaningful. I was and am an artist painting my own portraits. Quite frankly, my time at Yale was incredibly hard. I had to fight constantly for my own sense of belonging. In the midst of the challenges I faced as an outsider, I was determined, hardworking, and appreciative of the opportunity. I fell back on my inquisitive nature and worked towards combining my love for painting, social justice, and stories. Ultimately, my perceived weaknesses became my strength. Having a strong liberal arts education while in the contemporary fine arts world meant experiencing a freedom many of my peers did not have. I was stepping into the studio unbound by internal or external expectations. As my time in the program neared an end, I produced a body of work I was proud of, which focused on highlighting the vulnerability, power, and humanity of communities of color. I felt a breath of fresh air as I settled into a groove. In the end, the Yale School of Art gave me access to a world I would have not known otherwise, with my peers continuing to still be my best guides as I still search to understand the ins and outs of the art world. Looking back, Agnes Scott prepared me for every success and hurdle I have faced, positioning me to be where I am today with you. I know at Yale, some may have deemed me least likely. You know those lists, least likely to do such and such? But now it is clear that Agnes's nurturing environment is what allowed my innate fearlessness, resilience, gratitude, and stubbornness to work in my favor. Agnes gave me the time and space to make mistakes, reminding me that it was okay to make a lot of really bad paintings in order to make the one that I was proud of. Agnes Scott College taught me to embrace myself unapologetically. Yale School of Art took a risk accepting me. And each saw the vibrant colors in me that I sometimes still struggle to see in myself. It was only a few months ago that I got my NYC ID. Having lived in the city for 6 years, I was in denial about staying. Since being in New York, I have lived across from trash compactors, had numerous roommates, excessively long and cold walks from the train station, small studios, and traumatic encounters with New York puppies, AKA rats big enough to make you wonder if they may be dinosaurs that nobody told you about. With each passing year, I have expanded my community, found more comfortable living. Found more comfortable living and sought out quiet green spaces in an anxiety-ridden concrete jungle. My palette, mediums, tools, canvases, and vision are literally and figuratively growing. There is a real beauty in the light that comes after a decision to quit. Sometimes you rely on a stubborn, I'll figure it out attitude. And I can guarantee there will be, what was I thinking, moments. But ultimately, your willingness to learn will sustain you and make each of you victorious. I am now in a position where I'm doing all the things I dreamed of doing. The picture has come into focus. At the same time, I am only 30. I now anticipate dropping the brush or making a wrong move. But the fear of ruining what I have done has lessened. I have no idea what the next 30 or even 9 years will bring, but I know the picture will be mine. For now, I have 3 full-time jobs. I'm a working professional artist, making paintings representative of those often unseen in my community. and now have the honor of exhibiting this work in my hometown at the Denver Art Museum. My second job is as a tenure-track assistant professor of painting in the Department of Arts, Culture, and Media at Rutgers University, Newark. I just finished my third year teaching painting. Oh my God, thank goodness. Painting to some of the most phenomenal students I have known, who will be featured in my next body of work. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, I must continue to prioritize my mental and physical health. I am constantly learning to listen to my body better and set healthy boundaries. I still have to remind myself that it is okay to slow down when everything around me is going so fast. When I close my eyes and envision the life I am painting, I can't help but giggle. I feel an immense amount of disbelief. I giggle because, I giggle a lot. But I am in disbelief because I feel people are mistaken when they think I have words of wisdom to impart or that my story is valuable. The 10-month-old my mother observed, hi Liam, the awkward girl happy with a box of popsicle sticks and a hot glue gun, the young woman who never thought she'd belong, would have never believed that this is how my picture would turn out. Ooh, humidity's getting my glasses are fogging up. Excuse me, I'm like, I can't see. When prepared to speak with you all today, the what was I thinking feeling returned. I had to remember that it was here at Agnes that I learned that with each step off the cliff, my wings would get stronger, better at keeping me at a cruising altitude. Accepting this honor felt like a leap, but a leap like all others that will ultimately help bring my painting into focus. My life is just one canvas, but all the paintings of our lives together would be worthy of its own museum. The beauty of museums is that no single image is the same, nor are we as human beings. We are all painting our own pictures, looking for the subjects, the light, the meaning, and the connection to our purpose. I've had many times in my life where the painting is light, or by contrast, scary and dark. I might not have had many tools in the beginning, but through my own determination, timing, and the support of my community, I have gathered the tools I've needed along the way. All of you are crossing full of memories from the time you spent here on this campus. Just like me, it'll be impossible for you to separate your own personal experiences or passions to date from the art you will make in the future. Your unique tools, voices, and observations will craft a world that I am confident will be better because you are here in this space and because you will be honest about who you are and what you need to do. Trust that you have all the colors you need for your painting and use them fearlessly to create a life that may at times be dark, light, or blurry, but certainly well-lived for the common good. In the words of my nephew, Josiah, who is this year's speaker at his graduation from elementary school, go Casteels. I got his permission about the speech. He said he liked it. It's hard, as he said, it's hard to be walking away from our school. Over the summer, stay ahead, because middle school, or whatever comes next for you or me, will be harder. But you got it. You'll do great. I hope to see you again. Bye.
Thank you, Jourdan, for those amazing words. We deem you the most likely to do or be whatever you choose. Can we give her another round of applause? At this time, I would like to mention that the students who have garnered honors and prizes this spring, including those who have been elected to Phi Beta Kappa, are listed in your program and the program supplement. Please join me in congratulating all of the students who have received honors, awards, and prizes. And now it is my pleasure to present the Vulcan Materials Company Teaching Excellence Award. This award goes each year to a faculty member who has made a distinct difference in the teaching climate of the college in such areas as classroom teaching, classroom leadership, pioneer teaching methodology, creative course development, and/or instructional support. The award carries a $1,000 stipend endowed by the Vulcan Materials Company and managed by the Georgia Independent College Association. Each year, the Agnes Scott community members are invited to submit nominees for the award, and a committee composed of faculty, a student, an alumna, and a staff member selects the recipient for her or his ability to motivate and inspire our students. This student and faculty-driven selection process makes the Vulcan Award especially meaningful. In nominating this professor for the Vulcan Award, her colleagues use the words like incredible, inspiring, passionate, and dynamic to describe her instructional style. In fact, one colleague said, "She is a professor who makes it clear to students the importance of their thoughts." Her impact on the campus is felt at all levels, and students frequently praise her level of engagement. Her scholarly accomplishments are equally impressive. She began her Agnes Scott career as the Director of Teaching Education Programs in the summer of 2002. She now serves as Chair of the Department of Education and teaches a number of courses, including comparative education, just understanding literacy, I hear it behind me, and diversity, democracy, and education. She continually works to improve her teaching through innovative means, such as using a research method known as audio ethnography. I am delighted to announce that the 2019 Vulcan Award goes to Leslie Koya. Leslie, can you please join us? And I have a special announcement. The Charles A. Dana Professorship was established for purpose of recognizing another faculty member's professors dedicated to the college's ideals of academic quality, devoted to teaching, and concern for students. It is my great pleasure, upon the recommendation of the Interim Vice President for Academic Affairs, Christine Cousins, and with approval of the Board of Trustees, to name a new Charles A. Dana Professor. The faculty member has been involved in national and local efforts to improve teaching and learning in STEM disciplines, including approaches for engaging and retaining students, and is committed to the success of women in science. She has published numerous articles on strategies for engaging students in the classroom. In addition, she has co-led 2 global awareness trips to Costa Rica and has received the Vulcan Materials Company Excellence in Teaching Award. Her extraordinary gifts as a scholar, a creative leader, a dedicated mentor, and an academic leader has encouraged countless Scotties to pursue opportunities in STEM. Please join me in congratulating our new Charles A. Dana Professor of Chemistry, Lily C. Harvey. Lily? By the way, that was a surprise. Both of those. Now, today, as we send our sprites out into the world to inspire others with their general spirits and varied talents, we are also saying goodbye to 2 very special individuals who have shaped the community through many years of service. I would like to ask Professor Larry Riddle and Professor Catherine Kennedy to join me at the podium. It will be my pleasure to present each of you with a copy of a resolution of appreciation adopted yesterday by the Board of Trustees. Professor Riddle has taught mathematics at Agnes Scott College for 30 years. However, he is not just a mathematician. He is an artist as well, combining mathematics with cross-stitching to create amazing works of art. A relentless advocate for women in mathematics, he created and maintains biographies of women mathematicians, a renowned website that profiles the achievements of women in the field of mathematics. A chief reader for the AP Calculus, he was responsible for organizing and overseeing the annual AP Calculus reading. A recipient of the Vulcan Materials Company Award for Excellence in Teaching, he was named the 2010 Gladden Lecturer. Thank you, Larry, for your enthusiasm and contributions to the math department, and for your mentoring of young colleagues, and for the support that you have given to women and women mathematicians. Make sure I have the right one. Charles A. Dana Professor Kathy Kennedy has taught history for 38 years. A proud defender of liberal arts and the humanities, supporter of women's education, and advocate for mentorship research, she is especially beloved by her students. A scholar of European history, she has sensitively taught about some of the darkest chapters in human history and equipped generations of students to face the future with knowledge, perspective, compassion, and courage. The influence of Kathy's years of service to Agnes Scott is evident across campus. She has served on nearly every major committee at the college and has always been willing to step up and do heavy lifting on important college initiatives. Kathy is also a former recipient of the Vulcan Materials Company Award. Kathy, we thank you for your dedication to the college. We wish you happy travels and new adventures in your next adventure, and we thank you on behalf of the students for all of your service.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmony of liberty. Let all rejoicing rise. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought. Oh yes, keep your hand on the plow and hold on, just hold on. Nora, Nora, let me come in. The doors are fastened and the windows pinned. Keep your hand on the plow. Hold on, just hold on. Nora said you don't lost your track. Well, you can't plow straight and keep on looking back. Just keep your hand on the plow. Hold on, just hold on. Oh, brother, hold on. Yes, brother, hold Sister, on. Hold on. Yes, hold on. Keep your hand on the plow. Hold on, just hold on. If you want to get to heaven, let me tell you how. Just keep your hand on the gospel plow. Keep your hand on the plow. Hold on, just hold on. If that plow stays in your hand, land you straight into the promised land. Just keep your hand on the plow. Hold on, just hold on. Sister, hold on. Yes, brother, hold on. Yes, hold on. Keep your hand on the plow. Hold on, just hold on. Keep on climbing and don't you tire, 'cause every run goes higher and higher. Keep your hand on the plow. Hold on, just hold on. Sister, hold on. Yes, brother, hold on. Yes, hold on. Keep your hand on the plow. Hold on, just hold on. Sister, hold on. Yes, brother, hold on. Yes, hold on. Keep your hand on the plow. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Quite fitting.
That's right.
We now turn to the conferring of bachelor degrees, after which students will come forward to receive their diplomas.
Will the members of the class of 2019 receiving the Bachelor of Arts please stand? President Zach, upon the approval of the faculty of Agnes Scott College, I present the members of the class of 2019 whose attainments in this college entitle them to the degree of Bachelor of Arts.
On the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority invested in me by the Board of Trustees of Agnes Scott College, I hereby confer upon those candidates whose names will be read here the degree of Bachelors of Arts with all of the rights, honors, and privileges pertaining thereto.
Ifra A. Abdullahi. Mackenzie E. Adair, magna cum laude. Georgia Ray Adcock, magna cum laude. Kayleen Alexander, magna cum laude. Candace Allison, cum laude. Zaina Kashif Anwar. Iris Esmeralda Bailan Perez, cum laude. Mallika Balakrishnan, summa cum laude. Jada Lanye Beasley. Constance Marie Benedict. Anna Biswas. Kayla Victoria Bolden. Avalon Grace Ward Bonley, magna cum laude. Barbara Grace Branson. Mary Morgan Breedlove, magna cum laude. Alexandra LaSalle Brown. Lydia Janine Brown. Aaliyah Janae Bryan. Calix Alexandria Bryant. Eva Bryant. Ashayla Duche Burnett. Anna J. Carnes, cum laude. Macy R. Carter. Chantel E. Shandonia. Shamei Shen. Catherine Elaine Curtin. Vanita Sika Danui. Marianne Elizabeth Donovan, summa cum laude. Amira Yasmin Roberta Doherty, cum laude. Emma Elizabeth Davis. Hunter Danielle Dean. Ramnik Kaur Dingra. Adriana M. Diaz. Mahek Dodiani. Chantel Kimberly Donnelly. Rai Pamela Doucette. Logan Alexandra Armstrong Douglas, summa cum laude. Emma K. Dufresne, magna cum laude. Emily L. Duncan, magna cum laude. Alice Catherine Parsons Edwards, magna cum laude. Ashlyn Carnardris Edwards. Yasmin Adriana Edwards. Isabel P. Iden. Clementine Moselle Ellis, cum laude. Molly Fairbanks, cum laude. Francis Fong. Emma Rose Fisher, cum laude. Marisa Jeanette Franceschi. Diana Nicole Fulton, cum laude. Chelsea Amber Funk, summa cum laude. Crystal N. Garcia Rodriguez, cum laude. Mizan K. Gebretzgeber. Rebecca Alexis George. Nicole Savannah Gilkison. Audrey Kathleen Goodnight, summa cum laude. Yasmin Sian Green. Destiny Ariel Groover, magna cum laude. Mary T. Harris. Princess Diamonds Joy Harris, cum laude. Kathleen Ann Hawk Craig. Xiang Yan He, summa cum laude. Paige Gabrielle Heck. Julia Marion Henning. Fari Amani Holloway. Marissa Eileen Homer. Catherine Dawn Hughes, magna cum laude. Shannon A. Isaacs, magna cum laude. Brianna N. Itzen. Janice Jackson. Carrie Brianne Jackson. Kirsten Palar Jackson. Taylor James. Ihan Jiang, magna cum laude. Daisy Ann Johnston, cum laude. Anjiri Joseph. Zoe Judith Katz, cum laude. Haley Jordan Kiesler, summa cum laude. Elizabeth Rose Kell, cum laude. Victoria Jocelyn Kennedy. Amber Kidd, cum laude. Mara E. Kiefer. Clara Annette Kiplin, summa cum laude. Milka Wanjiru Kiriakou, cum laude. Mariama Madia Kone. Mungyao Lee, summa cum laude. Mariah Elaine Lopez. Tisia Mahoro. Sophia Afghan Malikiar, summa cum laude. Pippa Charlotte Georgina Marple, magna cum laude. Julia Grace Marshall, cum laude. Charlene Shin Martin. Lydia Shanta Mathis, summa cum laude. Alaska Matthews. Erica Ross Cooper McDonnell, summa cum laude. Leah Bernice Millar, magna cum laude. Julia Andorn Miller, magna cum laude. Madiha Moseni. Sierra Janae Moody. Samantha A. Mooney. Miranda Lynn Moore, cum laude. Devin Marie Morrison. Alexandra P. Morton. Amanda Kathleen Neesmith, cum laude. Namka Lamo Norbu, cum laude. Seda Norina. Silvia Dalila Olguin Lara, cum laude. Nicolette Maria Paglioni, magna cum laude. Remy Smith Palmer. Hannah N. Posh. Natalie B. Paul. Sydney Arnell Pugiz. Vivian K. Phillips. Margaret Mackenzie Poor, summa cum laude. Jourdan Marie Portis. Michaela Ann Powell, cum laude. Ariana Monet Pullen. Iman A. Ramadan. Ashley Dominique Redmond. Courtney Morgan Reed. Lesiana Reed. Bria Monique Robinson. Summer Joy Robinson, cum laude. Esme Joy Rodehaver, summa cum laude. Carla Elisa Rodriguez, cum laude. Gabriela Alejandra Rodriguez. Acacia Yana Salisbury. Laura Nodoka Satu. Victoria Helen Schaffner, magna cum laude. Kirsten Emily Ann Schultz, cum laude. Heather Scott. Yanina Sharpley Travis, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Ship. Jasmine Elaine Sims. Kennedy M. Smith, cum laude. Candace Cinnamon D. Spates. Rachel Gwyneth Spears, cum laude. Jasmine Lynette Stamper, magna cum laude. Rachel Steinberg, magna cum laude. Emily Anne Marie Straka, magna cum laude. Ina Claire Stratton, cum laude. James David Tanaro. Christina Terziska, cum laude. Ciara Carmelita Thomas. Elliot Lenore Trojanowski, summa cum laude. Kayla Marie Trumbull. Reagan T. Turner. Natalie Yolanda Ulloa, cum laude. Peace Grace Muhizi. Ellie Isabel Vergura. Sarah Elizabeth Waits, magna cum laude. Kayla Marie Warner Jackson. Juna Lee Washington, cum laude. Catherine Claire Weeks, cum laude. Amandla Shoshana Williams. Nicole Williams. Alyssa Caitlin Willis, summa cum laude. Elizabeth H. Wolf, magna cum laude. Ashley Simon Wynn. Eleanor Gail Wynn, cum laude. Selena Shia, magna cum laude. Jourdan Young, summa cum laude. Ganet Zeleka. Maria J. Zetina, magna cum laude. Wei Min Jung, magna cum laude. Yue Min Zhuo, magna cum laude.
Will the members of the class of 2019 receiving the Bachelor of Science please stand? President Zach, upon the approval of the faculty of Agnes Scott College, I present the members of the class of 2019 whose attainments in this college entitle them to the degree of Bachelor of Science.
On the recommendation of the faculty, by the authority invested in me by the Board of Trustees of Agnes Scott College, I hereby confer upon those candidates whose names will be read here the degree of Bachelor of Science with all the rights, honors, and privileges pertaining thereto.
Jennifer Emily Bates, cum laude. Jasmine Adicia Berry, magna cum laude. Ty Alexandra Boyd. Mahal Joanna Bugai, magna cum laude. Alicia Claire Bukowski, magna cum laude. Gabriella Y. Shibley, magna cum laude. Kristen Jocelyn Elders Koppen, magna cum laude. Susan Maria Cordero Romero, summa cum laude. Jessica Marie Costero, magna cum laude. Caitlin C. Croft, summa cum laude. Hannah Nicole Culbreth. Rosny Gurong. Sharika Moncre Hamilton. Alina S. Ibrahim, magna cum laude. Isabella June Kammerer, magna cum laude. Anling An Alexandra Kaplan, magna cum laude. Denisha Priscilla King. Teresa Mello. Luisa Maria Molano. Yara Lucia Moran. Alexandria Tatiana Moses. Morgan Suzanne Pearson, magna cum laude. Zoe Brianna Story Perchaluk. Eleanor Petit Cruz. Tanya Hans Pierre, cum laude. Sydney Elizabeth Popsy, magna cum laude. Bryn Pressler Marshall, magna cum laude. Kayla N. Quisenberry. Aisha Ferdozi Rahman. Naima Rashid, cum laude. Bailey Marie Robinson, cum laude. Kristen M. Root. Kira Anastasia Samaha, cum laude. Tatiana Evelise Santiago. Brittany Therese Simmons. Sydney Janae Snow, cum laude. Roshada LaShawn Tarver, magna cum laude. Ladream Emma Alize Taylor. Ria Antoinette Thomas, cum laude. Alyssa Ya Waith. Rowan Webb Fergus. Alyssa K. Wheeler. Vaughn Vincent Wicker, magna cum laude. Zoe Aliyah Wiltz.
Just in time. Board Chair Beth Holder joins Interim Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of the College, Christine Cousins, and Dean of Students, Karen Goff, and me in congratulating our 2019 graduates. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce Giselle F. Martin from the class of 1998. and the president of the Agnes Scott Alumni Association, who brings greetings to our newest alumni. Giselle?
My dear Scotties, our supernatural spirited sprites, let the rain come down. You are ready for this and so much more. On behalf of the Alumni Board and thousands of alumni from every corner of the world, congratulations to you all for reaching this important milestone. You are now part of the Agnes alumni bond that encourages you to realize your full creative and intellectual potential. Agnes Scott's mission is to foster an environment in which women can develop high expectations for themselves as individuals, scholars, professionals, and citizens of the world. I ask you to embed this value in your spirit and spread it like confetti beyond these sacred grounds. I ask you to be patient with your spirit and trust that the essence of time is unique to your DNA. For each of you are about to embark in over 200 journeys of continued self-discovery. However, there is no pre-written master plan, no syllabus, no designated guide on this trip. You are on your own. You are writing your own novel, writing your own narrative now. This may seem uncomfortable. It may make you uneasy, but know that we trust in you. For the teaching you have received at Agnes only demonstrates what is possible. Learning is making it possible for yourself. So let's get back to that Agnes Scott value of high expectations. And while we gather in the spirit of umbrellas, this is actually going to require a little bit of audience participation because this class asked me to make sure that I speak to the parents, the families, the friends, the faculty, the staff, and the trustees as well on their behalf. So, let's start with this. A round of applause. How many of you are rooting for the success of these graduating seniors? Sprites, this is to show you you are never alone. Now, for those of you that are of a certain age, say maybe over 40, how many of you at the age of 21, 23-ish, perfectly predicted where you are in your life today? Raise a hand. Okay, there's always one or two. Always one or two. However, that is not the norm. One more thing. How many of you sitting in this audience pivoted, had to rethink your direction, have life opportunities and complexities that made you make unexpected shifts? How about a raise of hands on that one? Okay. Sprites, I hope that you were watching. It is for this reason that I ask all of you in this audience to give the gift of time, reflection, and the freedom to be present to these students. But my dear Scotties, I ask you to be mindful of this gift of time and use it to reflect, for it has consequences. As my dear sisters, Jourdan, Malika, have shared in their stories, I will also be brutally honest and vulnerable, but will try not to cry this year. When I was sitting where you sit today, this is where I get brutally honest, my GPA was at the very bottom of my esteemed class. Yet it was my Scottie life sisters, Anne, Gooch, Nima, Maya, Margie, who always made me feel invincible. They each reminded me that only you have the power to create and live your experiences. Nurture your Scottie family, no matter how far you roam, sprites. I took their belief in me to heart, and from the gates of Agnes Scott, I went off into the corporate world with a good-paying job that my parents were proud of. However, it became clear 3 years in that the career was steering my life instead of the other way around. Sounds familiar? As if Agnes knew I needed a bit of reflection and inspiration, I was invited to an alumni event on campus. During that visit, I met up with some of my beloved staff and faculty here, Stephanie Balmer, Hisela Narat. It was in those brief engagements with the members of this community who fully saw me through my mistakes and growth, and yet always invested their time in my potential, that gave me the courage to reflect on the possibility to rechart my course, leave my career in technology, and pivot into my passion, education. For this first-generation student, that was super scary, but Agnes had taught me that this life, you must listen to your heart, your mind, and your intuition. And Scotties, your intuition is your strongest guide. Agnes also educated me on how to find my tribe, my truth. Choose your life partners wisely, sprites. They will move mountains so you can shift and thrive. Thank you, Chris Martin. You will be pleased to know that since making that career pivot, I have experienced managing multi-million-dollar portfolios, engaged with some of the top leaders and dignitaries globally. I completed my master's degree, yes, even with that GPA. Time, my friends, is your friend, and created innovative programs that have impacted lives of young people throughout my career. Scotties, do meaningful work with purpose, no matter what you dedicate your life to. Know that growth is manifested in every morsel of time that we breathe on this earth. Just like the faculty and staff have pushed you to go beyond your limits at Agnes, know that we, as alums, are here to support you and living up to the promise of who you are and who you are becoming. As of this moment, you have earned the right and privilege to be called an Agnes Scott alumna. You are joining one of the strongest networks in the world. I encourage you to engage with the college and alumni wherever your path takes you. Stay in touch with us as your life unfolds. Be generous with your time, voice, and contributions to the Scotties that come behind you. You have already started to do this by raising $2,482, including a matching gift from a challenger to support your senior gift of an Advantage Award at Agnes Scott. Well done. And now, by the power invested in me as the president of the Alumni Association, I would actually like to ask for any alum that is here today to stand, minus the graduates, for right now. Please stand. I love the spirit here. It is the best. We are all bound by the legacy and responsibility of the Black Ring Mafia. Sprites, I now formally invite you to turn that special ring around so the ASC inscription faces outward towards the rest of the world. For those of you that don't have a ring just yet, grab the hand of a Scottie sitting next to you, and now all of you, raise your hands, united, that you will continue to foster an environment in which Scotties can develop high expectations for themselves as individuals and citizens of the world. We are so very proud of you. Do good, be just, without fear. Class of 2019, congratulations and welcome to the Alumni family.
Thank you, Giselle, for that meaningful and personal welcome to our amazing Scotties. Sprites, before we close, I want to thank you again for everything that you have done to make us better. I'm going to ask the faculty and staff is able to please stand and thank our amazing Sprites for making us better. Thank you. We want to let you know that following the ceremony, faculty, friends, families, graduates are invited to celebrate together at the reception with members of our college community in the Letitia Pate Evans Hall dining room and terraces. Now, the 130th commencement exercises of the Agnes Scott College are hereby concluded. Please stand as able for the recessional and remain standing in your place until the recessional concludes. Scotties, congratulations. I'm so proud of you.